Senate Democrats are calling for a delay in the confirmation hearing of Tom Price, President-elect Trump's pick for HHS Secretary. Records show Price invested between $1,000 and $15,000 in 6 pharmaceutical firms within weeks of blocking regulatory measures that would have hurt those companies' bottom lines. Price also invested between $1,000 and $15,000 in medical device maker Zimmer Biomet just days before introducing legislation to delay regulations analysts said would harm the company. New York Democratic Senator Kirsten Gillibrand is asking the SEC to investigate Price. But Mr. Trump's transition team says Price's broker made the stock purchases and Price learned of them only after the fact. Pennsylvania Democratic Senator Bob Casey is with us from Capitol Hill. He's on the Health, Education, Labor and Pensions Committee, where Tom Price is appearing Wednesday, and he met with Price on Tuesday. Senator, thanks for being with us.
Elaine, good to be with you. Thank you.
First of all, did your meeting with Congressman Price address concerns about his investments?
Yes, I asked that specific question as to some of the details surrounding a stock purchase and then the corresponding obligations that he has as a member of Congress. I think there's still some sorting out to do, and I'm still examining those facts as well.
Well, should his hearing set for Wednesday be delayed, do you think, Senator?
Well, I think it's a significant issue, and I think it should be fully answered, and we should try to arrive at a resolution of it one way or the other before there's a vote on his nomination.
Well, you're also on the Senate Finance Committee, which this week will question Mr. Trump's pick for Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. What is it that you'd like to ask him?
Well, actually, today we had a meeting as well with Mr. Mnuchin, and we covered a range of topics, for example, tax reform and tax policy generally. But also, I asked him very specific questions about an entity that he was part of. It was a banking entity that foreclosed on a lot of mortgages, and some of the details about those mortgage foreclosures in the context of what are known as reverse mortgages. A lot of people understand what they are, and they can be particularly onerous on families, especially our seniors. So we're going to be continuing to ask more questions surrounding those issues in addition to the broad policy areas before he's confirmed and or has a confirmation vote. Mr. Mnuchin's hearing in front of the Finance Committee is not yet scheduled to my knowledge, so we still have some time for more questions even prior to the hearing.
On another topic, Senator, you are attending Mr. Trump's swearing in, and you've said it's the right of any lawmaker to skip it. How should Republicans, you think, respond to those who do decide not to attend?
Well, look, it's a determination that every member of Congress has to make, and I'm not going to tell another member whether they should or should not go. That's up to them. They're elected by their districts or by their states, and that's the determination that they're going to make. I would hope in the future that President Trump would act differently than candidate Trump and President-elect Trump. When someone makes a statement like John Lewis made, I would hope that President-elect Trump would try to seek common ground and show respect for members of Congress, especially those like John Lewis, or I should say, especially John Lewis, because no one in the country, no living American has done more for civil rights and fairness than John. He literally bled for this country, something that President-elect Trump has never done, something that virtually every other member of Congress has not done. So I think he warrants special consideration, and I hope we can have a president that would seek common ground rather than the divisions that he seems to be continuing to perpetuate in this transition period.
You questioned Betsy DeVos on Tuesday. What are your biggest concerns about her nomination?
The principal concern that I have is one, or I should say one of 2 or 3 major ones. One is one that I raised in the hearing today, which is the question of how committed she'll be to the current law as it relates to sexual assault on college campuses. A horrific nightmare for young women across the country. 1 in 5 the victims of sexual assault, according to the Centers for Disease Control in 2009. So if we have the gravity of the problem that we do, we need a Secretary of Education who will, at a minimum, follow the current law. Secondly, I have a broader concern, obviously, and this is where most of the attention is, on her commitment to public education. She has a long record of supporting private sector or privately funded charter schools. That's her right to do that as an American. But as I said to her in her meeting, she's not going to be the Secretary of Private Education. She's going to be the Secretary of Education. And so I think she has a heavy, heavy burden of proof to demonstrate that she will be truly committed to public education, the education of all children, and advocate for it and be a strong champion of it, not just read a line from a statement in her testimony tonight. So that's a concern, and obviously her family has donated untold sums of money in pursuit of this goal of privatization of education.
All right, Senator Bob Casey, thanks very much for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Elaine. Good to be with you.